Karen is at a corporate party. Her boss, Mia, brings a bunch of identical envelopes and says, "I personally put the grand prize in one of these envelopes. It's a certificate for a trip to Bali." But no worries, the remaining envelope contains consolidation prizes prepared by our sponsors. Can you help Karen win the trip to Bali? There's a lipstick print on this envelope. Mia has a similar lip color. She said that she had personally packed only one envelope, so the grand prize should be here. The day of Karen's flight to Bali has finally come. She calls a taxi to the airport. Soon, 3 identical taxis arrive at her porch. But only one of these drivers can actually give Karen a safe ride. Can you guess who? The second car has a flat tire, and the driver of the third taxi is a werewolf. Take a look at his claws. It's a full moon, so he'll turn into a wolf soon. Therefore, Karen should choose the first taxi. Karen's luggage is too heavy, so she goes to the cash register to pay for the excess. Oh no, her card holder is gone. Karen asks 3 people standing nearby, "Have you seen a pink card holder?" The cleaner says, "I found 2 lost wallets today, but none of them look like yours." The cashier says,
"I was busy with another customer, so I didn't look around."
And another passenger says, "Don't waste time, honey. Block your cards as soon as possible." Who stole the wallet? Nobody. Karen put it in the fold of her hat and forgot it there. See? On the plane, the steward asks Karen to switch seats with another passenger. Karen can choose one of these 3 seats. Can you help her figure out the best option? This man has very long legs, so he'll probably kick the back of Karen's chair all along. The second option is next to this elegant lady, but she's stealing money from another passenger. Probably not the best company for a long-hour flight. Although the third guy looks like a vampire, it's just a costume. He's sitting by the window, but the sun rays don't bother him, so he's the best option. Karen arrives at a fancy hotel in Bali. The manager shows her the 3 best bungalows to choose from, but only one of them is safe enough. Can you help Karen to make the best choice? The first bungalow doesn't have a door, which makes Karen an easy target for robbers and mosquitoes. And there's a scorpion under the bed in the third bungalow, so she should choose the second one. On the beach, Karen meets 3 ladies who claim to be millionaires and show her pictures to prove it. But one of them is fake rich. Can you guess who? It's the first lady. She's just modeling for an electric toothbrush commercial, so her luxury is artificial. Karen is walking down the shore and sees a party. It's a beach wedding, so the bride and groom don't wear traditional costumes. Can you find the newlyweds among these people? Take a look at the cake. The letters say Harry plus Amy. This lady is wearing a necklace with the name Amy, so she's the bride. And now, look at the flower garland around her neck. Only one person is wearing the identical garland, this guy, so he's probably the groom. Karen spots her former classmate, Tom, among the guests. He's talking to a strange lady. The lady is wearing a hoodie and standing with her back turned to Karen, so Karen can't see her face. Tom and the lady leave together and hide from everyone on the roof of the beach restaurant where the party takes place. Later that night, Karen also visits the roof. There's no one else here, but after checking the roof, Karen knows for sure which of these three ladies is Tom's secret girlfriend. How did she know? The third lady's dress is decorated with gold sequins. She lost one sequin on the roof. Tom sees Karen and invites her for a walk along the shore. She spots four weird things right away. Can you see them too? A mermaid is hiding in the waves. This sandcastle has electric lighting. Tree branches flutter in the wind to the right, but the flags to the left. And finally, the moon has a creepy face. The next morning, Karen goes to the buffet breakfast. She wants to get a smoothie, but there's no information about the ingredients in English. Unfortunately, Karen is allergic to strawberries. Can you figure out which smoothies are safe for her? It's all about the color. Only the green and yellow smoothies don't contain any strawberries for sure. Other options are risky. Karen enters a spa center. The manager asks her to wait for 15 minutes. Karen takes a seat and falls asleep. She wakes up after a while and finds out that someone had given her a heart-shaped tattoo. She questions three suspects. Bobby, the client, says, "Lady, I've just arrived on my motorbike. If I see any crazy tattoo artists around here, I'll tell you." Leah says, "I've been cleaning the bathroom within the last 30 minutes. And Tony, the massage therapist, says, "Sorry, I was busy with my client, so I didn't look at you at all." Who's lying? Bobby. This motorbike has flat tires, and besides, it was already there when Karen entered the spa. Luckily, the tattoo was temporary, and the massage therapist helped Karen to remove it, but he charged her $5 for his help. Karen arrived at the spa during happy hours when they offer a 45% discount on all services, so Karen paid only $12 for a 1-hour massage. Also, she had a pedicure for $7. When Karen left, she found a $50 bill on the ground. How much money did Karen spend in total? Can you count? Karen spent a total of $24. As for this $50 bill, it's fake, so it doesn't make any difference. Karen brings her clothes to the local laundry owned by three sisters. She returns to pick up her stuff in 5 hours. Unfortunately, someone has burned her favorite dress with an iron. Karen gets furious and questions the sisters. Mia says, "I didn't iron today. It must be Pia." Pia says,
Nah, I was planting roses in the garden all day. It must be Gia.
and Gia says, "I don't know who's guilty because I've been away all day." Who burned Karen's dress? It was Pia. Take a look at the garden. Can you see any roses? Exactly. Karen returns to her hotel room and finds a huge bouquet in a vase. The note says, "Love, your secret admirer." Karen calls the reception to find out more. The manager says, "One of the hotel's male guests ordered the flowers, but I can't reveal his name." Only 3 male guests stay in this hotel at the moment: Hans, Jacques, and Will. Karen meets them all at the beach and spots her secret admirer right away. Do you have any clue who it might be? Karen received pink lilies. Take a look at Hans's shirt. It has a print with pink lilies. He loves these flowers, but this doesn't prove anything. Will has a tan line from a wedding ring, and he's taking pictures of his wife surfing. But Jacques is writing in the sand, and his handwriting looks suspiciously similar to the love note. Spotted! Karen and Jacques go for a walk. He brings her to a pier with 3 boats. Jacques says, "If you manage to guess where my boat is, I'm going to give it away to you." Can you help Karen find the right answer? Someone's sleeping on the second boat, but this doesn't mean that the person is the owner. The third boat is called Jacques, but this name is quite popular. Let's take a closer look at the first boat. Can you see the red trousers on a hanger? They match perfectly with Jacques' jacket. Therefore, this is his boat. Autumn was walking around the neighborhood and found a cat. She put posters all over the place looking for its owner. 2 people came and claimed that the cat was theirs. Can you figure out who the real owner is? Both people have scratches and cat hair on their clothes, so they must both own a cat. But the cat Autumn found has red fur. This woman right here is the only one with red cat hairs on her clothes. So she must be the real owner. Aurora failed an exam and her mother grounded her. Aurora was supposed to stay at home for 2 weeks. No parties, no friends, just her and physics. Mrs. Adams was a nurse and she worked long shifts. One evening, she came back home after 18 hours at work. She walked into Aurora's room and asked her what she'd been doing all day. "Studying, Mom," replied Aurora and pointed at her physics books. Mrs. Adams didn't believe her and asked her who had come over. How did she figure it out? Look, there are 2 cups in Aurora's room. Both of them have lipstick stains. One stain has the same shade as Aurora's lipstick, but the other is different. Someone else had been drinking tea with Aurora that evening before Mrs. Adams came back home. The police are looking for a vampire who repeatedly moved to the neighborhood a couple of weeks ago. They need to identify him to keep an eye on him. They have 3 suspects. Here are the photos of them. Can you guess which one is the vampire? This person is tanned. It means that he goes out in the sun, which vampires never do. This woman is wearing a silver necklace. Vampires are afraid of silver, so she went out too. So this last person is probably the vampire. Bonnie is a little spider competing in a spider championship, and she got into the finals. In the final round, she's competing with last year's champion, King Weber. The final round is a walk on a spider's web that stretches between 2 cliffs. There are 5 intersecting strands, coming from one point on the other side. Bonnie and Weber begin 2 spaces from each other. She starts first, and her task is to catch Weber in 10 moves. Now, the rules. Every competitor can move from one intersection to an adjacent hub where 2 strands cross, 1 space at a time. No one can create new paths. Only one competitor can move at a time, and they take turns walking. No one can skip their turn. Help Bonnie come up with a strategy to catch King Weber in 10 moves. The first thing we need to pay attention to is that Bonnie is 2 spaces away from King Weber. So no matter what move Bonnie makes, King Weber will be able to maintain the 2-space distance, and she won't be able to get closer to him. But there's a way to change it. There's this point where the strands converge, and this is the key. Let's visualize the web and color the intersections blue and red in a checkerboard pattern. I mean the pattern where the squares of the same color don't border. The point where the strands meet can't be colored either of these colors, so let's color that one green. So now, Bonnie stands at red. Every time she changes her color location from red to blue, King Weber will then change it in the same way, always staying 2 moves away from her. So, if she doesn't change the situation, this will go on, and she won't be able to win. The only place where Bonnie can break this pattern is that one green point. So, she shouldn't waste any moves and go straight there. It will take her 4 moves to end up in the green spot, Since King Weber started at a red point, after 4 moves, he will be at one of the red points again. Now, Bonnie has to break the pattern so that with every move, they're at 2 different colors. Because then, there's a possibility to end up at the adjacent ones. Bonnie should move to one of the strands with a red point. King Weber will then be at a blue one with his next move. Even better, he can't now move to any of the blue hubs near Bonnie. So, he will be forced to move away to some other blue points. Now the algorithm for choosing the correct move is this. Bonnie should assess how far away Weber is from her horizontally and vertically, and then cut the larger number. King Weber will still have hubs where he can't move, so he'll be forced to move away, backing into one of the 2 corners. And that's where Bonnie will get him. Let's take a little break and solve some emoji riddles. And the topic is movies. I'll show you a combination of emojis, and your task is to guess the movie. Ready? Here's the first one. Yes, this one is easy. It's The Lord of the Rings. Okay, a new one for you, a bit harder. What's your guess? Well, it wasn't really that hard. It's Forrest Gump, a classic. What about this one? Probably the most famous franchise. This is Star Wars, of course. I'll give you a hint. This is an animated movie. Yes, of course, it's Coco. Okay, the last movie for today. Can you guess it? It's Transformers. Now, back to solving cases. A rich lady, Mrs. Harrington, went on a sea cruise. The voyage was pleasant, but one night there was a storm. During the commotion, Mrs. Harrington got robbed. Her diamond necklace and rings disappeared right from her neck and hands. The main suspect was Brian, a young man traveling in the economy class. Someone had seen him on the deck circling around Mrs. Harrington. Detective Callum happened to be on the cruise too, and he interrogated Brian, but the man denied stealing anything. The ship was rocking, and I couldn't stay on the deck, so I was in my cabin writing a letter to my wife. Here's the letter. You can read it if you want to. Detective Callum concluded that Brian was lying. Why did he think so? The ship was rocking during the storm, and it must have been hard to write anything. Still, the letter is written neatly, which is impossible when everything around is swinging and shaking. Ayla was traveling by plane for the first time and was very excited. She was going to Florida to visit her grandma. 2 hours into the flight, Ayla went to the bathroom. When she returned, she noticed that her tablet had disappeared. She immediately reported it to the flight attendant. Ayla's neighbor said he'd been sleeping and hadn't seen anything. The neighbor across the aisle said he'd been talking to his friend on the phone, so he hadn't seen anything either. And one more passenger said she hadn't left her seat. The flight attendant stopped interrogating people because she figured out who was lying. Who was it? The second person. They're on a plane, there's no connection, and no one is supposed to talk on the phone. An accident happened at a birthday celebration in a club. Damon, a sophomore, found Eleanor in the ladies' bathroom with a concussion. He called the police and the girl was taken to the hospital. The police arrived and asked the boy what had happened.
I don't know Eleanor that well. We have one class together. I was upstairs at the party talking to my friends and then just went to the bathroom and found her there. I called you immediately.
The officers took Damon to the police station for further investigation. What was so suspicious in this story? Eleanor was in the women's bathroom. What was Damon doing there? Hey, I'll be showing you some logos. All you need to do is spot the correct one. We'll have 4 rounds with 20 logos each. Keep the score and let me know in the comments. Ready, steady, go! You may see it at least once a week, but can you instantly guess what logo is correct? This spark is the Walmart logo, and it's on the right. This one is easy peasy. Which one is the correct Nutella logo? Right, it's on the left. And what about Chupa Chups? Right here. Hey, did you know that Salvador Dali invented the world-famous lollipop logo? Up for some coffee? Starbucks, what do you say? Here it is. Oh, I love chocolate. Can you spot the correct Dove logo? It's the left one. Which Lay's logo is the original one? Here's the right one. Do you remember the right Mars logo? Here it is. Next up is Coke. Time to choose. It's the right one. What about M&M's? Where's the correct one? It's the one on the right. Hershey's, can you spot the correct logo? Right, this one. I know, this one was pretty tough. You know this one for sure. It's Pepsi. And the original one? Right, it's on the right. And what about Mountain Dew? It may seem that the left one is the original logo, but nope, it's on the right. Dr. Pepper, what do you think? Okay, time's up. It's right here. Tell me what one is the original Haribo logo. It's this one, on the left. I bet you've eaten Oreo cookies. Can you find the logo? It's this one on the right. Do you love ketchup on your French fries? Then what's the original Heinz logo? It's tricky, but it's the one on the left, of course. Another hard one for you. Don't lose hope. Dunkin' Donuts. The right one. And what about Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf? It's on the left. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Now tell me, which one is the original Aquafina logo? Sure, it's on the right. The last one in the food category, Lipton, is a well-known brand. Do you spot the correct logo? Well done, it's right here. Next round, are you into movies? Let's see if you can remember some of the most famous logos. Let's start with something that's everyone's favorite. What's the correct Simpsons logo? This one right here. Which one is the correct Titanic logo? It's on the left. The original font was gold. And what about the Hunger Games? Right, this one was gold too. You're doing great. Do you remember what the Shrek logo looks like? Right, the S has some ogre's ears. Well done. I know you'll nail this one. Spot the correct Batman logo. This one was a piece of cake. It only has two colors, black and yellow. Can you find the correct Marvel logo? It's on the right. Now be attentive. Do you spot the correct Monsters, Inc. logo? Yeah, it wouldn't be the same without the I on the letter M. Hardcore flashbacks. Tom and Jerry. Which one is it? There might be a trap. Don't fall for it. Ah, here it is. Okay, the movie section just won't work without Spider-Man. Which one is the original logo? It's on the right. Jurassic Park. Where's the correct logo? Well done! What's the original The Lion King logo? It's the right one, of course. Which Star Wars logo is the real one? Now that's the one. This one is harder, but where is the Lord of the Rings logo? Right here. Futurama, what do you think? It's the left one. What do you say here? Where's the right Family Guy logo? Yeah, this one. One of them is the X-Men logo. Go ahead. Now that's the one. Something for you to recognize. SpongeBob. Here's the original. Can you spot the correct Nickelodeon logo here? It's on the left, of course. The movie section is almost over. Let's hit the last one here. Which one is the original Avatar logo? Well done. Hey, we still have many logos ahead. Round 3, computer games. You either love it or doesn't matter. I bet you've played it at least once. Now spot the original Sims logo. Well done! What about the Electronic Arts logo? Look here, it's on the left. And what about Lineage 2? Where's the correct one? It's the one on the right. PlayStation, can you spot the correct logo? Right, this one. I know, this one was pretty tough. Mine and Craft. Craft and Mine. This one's easy. The original Minecraft logo is on the left. This game has over 100 million registered users worldwide. I know you can spot the right logo. Okay, the Hearthstone logo is right here on the left. What about Dota 2? Yeah, this one's easy. Only one Fallout logo is correct. Be attentive, this one's tricky. Well done. The correct logo is on the right. Can you recognize the original Mortal Kombat logo? Right here. Fruit Ninja, any ideas? Right, the fruit font is colorful and the ninja font is silver. Homescapes, ever played? Only one logo is correct. Look here, it's on the left. What are your thoughts? Where's the actual Flappy Bird? Here it is. Not that recognizable, but still. Can you spot the correct Sonic Dash logo? Streams can be fun, right? Now show me the original Twitch logo. It's on the left. Well done. Couple more. Genshin Impact. What do you say? It's on the right. What about Skyrim? Here it is. Which Fortnite logo is the real one? No doubt it's here on the left. Tell me which one is the original Overwatch logo. Well done. Have you ever played Destiny 2? No? Try to find the original logo. All right, time's up. It's right here on the left. And what about Rocket League? 3, 2, 1. The original logo is on the left. Round 4, cars. Any thoughts about Dodge? Right here. Do you remember the logo of Chrysler? It's the right one, of course. Good old Ford. Can you recognize its original logo? Sure, the background color is blue. It can't be any other color. And what about Chevrolet? That's right, it's on the left. The main color is gold, and the rim is silver, and not vice versa. Now show me the correct Jeep logo. Come on, this one's simple. It's all about colors again. The correct one is green. Can you spot the original Tesla logo? This one's tricky. The correct one is on the right. Let's move on. Now let's see if you can remember what the Mercedes logo looks like. Here it is. Any ideas about BMW? Yeah, it has some blue color in it, not red. Volkswagen. Which one do you choose? It's on the right. Well done. The left one seems to be upside down. Porsche. Which one? Right here. Audi. What's your call? It was easy. The original Audi logo has 4 rings. And do you remember the original Bentley logo? It's on the right, of course. B stands for Bentley, and the one on the left doesn't look right. You must know it. What's the correct Toyota logo? It's the right one. No one promised it to be easy. Mitsubishi, what's your guess? Now that's the one. It has only 3 elements in it. Honda, any ideas? This one. Well done. Only 5 logos left. You can do it. Bonjour, croissant. Citroën, can you recognize this French car logo? It's right here. What are your thoughts? Where's the Peugeot logo? That's the original. Renault, do you think you know the one? Pick the right one. Almost there. What about the Cadillac logo? The original logo is on the left. Make your choice with the Ferrari logo. That's easy. It's here. Hey, well done. What's your score? Let me know in the comments. Take a look at your ears. Aren't they amazing? An average human ear hears frequencies from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. But each person is unique when it comes to the functioning of our sense organs. Some of us struggle to hear neighbors whispering just behind the door. Meanwhile, rare lucky persons have a natural absolute pitch. They can recognize any note in any octave. We suggest you take these cool hearing tests that will help reveal your hidden hearing superpowers. Yes! First of all, let's check where you're currently standing in the frequency spectrum. Put on your headphones and make sure you're in a quiet place with no background noises. If you're surrounded by people, ask them to stay quiet for the next minute. We'll travel across and beyond the human audio spectrum and play some sound frequencies a human ear usually can't perceive. As soon as you notice that your ears begin to hear the sound, stop the video. The number you'll see on the screen is your current result. Ready? Let's go! Great job! Well, are you surprised by the result? If it's higher than average, congratulations! But if not, don't worry. The older people get, the harder it becomes for them to hear high-frequency sounds. This may reduce the ability to hear bird songs and even some consonants like S, H, or F. If the result is very bad, try this test again. Chances are that your headphones can't play the invisible frequencies properly. Or maybe the sound was off at your computer. But if you're perfectly sure that your gadgets are fine, perhaps it would be wise to see a doctor and check your hearing. Now you know your hearing's range. But guess who can hear beyond these limits? Bats, pigeons, elephants, dogs, dolphins, and some other animals. But who do you think is the best listener in the world? Please welcome our champion, a moth. Researchers claim that moths can hear better than anyone else in the world. One study showed that the greater wax moth, also known as Galleria melanella, is capable of hearing frequencies up to 300 kilohertz. It means that their hearing is 15 times better than humans. And now, let's go ahead and check your potential to develop an absolute musical pitch. This rare superpower is basically the ability of a person to identify or recreate a given musical note without the use of a reference tone. Some of the greatest classical composers, including Beethoven, Chopin, and Mozart, used to have this ability, and it's not so rare in the modern music industry.
Oh yeah.
Studies based on a survey of more than 600 musicians showed that the older people were when they started training, the less likely they were to gain perfect pitch. Meanwhile, the majority of polled musicians who began training by the age of 6 used to have it. And among those who started music classes before the age of 4, some 40% had perfect pitch. Also, you're more likely to develop this ability if at least one of your relatives has it. So, are you ready to challenge your ears? You're gonna need to put on your earphones once again. Take a deep breath and don't forget to count the right answers. Here's a small version of a classic piano keyboard. Let's go ahead and refresh your memory. This is what the 12 notes sound like. We'll use this random music to confuse your perception just a little bit. And let's begin the quiz. Try to guess this note. Well, any ideas? It was G. What about this note? C. Focus your ears and let's listen to the next one. Well, it was A. What about this sound? Can you guess it? F. Let's go ahead and recognize this note. A once again. And what can you say about this one? That was F sharp. Here's the next sound. Can you guess the note? B. Any idea what it might be? A sharp, also known as B flat. Next sound. Can you spot the note? C flat. Can you identify this one? G again. Well done. If you've guessed more than 7 notes correctly, maybe it's time for you to run to the nearest musical school and become a famous musician before it's too late. Meanwhile, if your result is between 3 and 6 notes, your musical ear is still quite good. And if you didn't guess a single note, don't be upset. Regular training gets water from a flint. Our next test will reveal both your hearing skills and your knowledge of musical instruments. This game is very easy. Listen to the audio carefully and try to guess the instrument. Don't forget to calculate all the correct answers. Here's the first sound playing. Does it seem familiar? What do you say? It's a French horn playing. What about this melody? Sitar. Next audio. Any ideas? Steel pan. What about this one? Acoustic guitar. Great job. Let's go ahead and spot this instrument. It's a flute. Next audio. Does it sound familiar? Ukulele. Let's explore this mysterious sound. It's called the rain stick. Next instrument. Any ideas? Marimba. Here's the next melody. Does it seem familiar? Organ. Next instrument. Does it sound familiar? Cymbal. What about this one? What do you say? Acoustic guitar? Nope, banjo. You should recognize this one right away. Any ideas? Violin. What about this instrument? What do you say? Just kidding, it's the sound of a purring cat. Let's go ahead and investigate this audio. Harmonica. Any idea what this might be? Kazoo. It looks like a funny little whistle. Next instrument. Have you guessed? It's a lute. What about this one? Maybe electric piano? Nope, it's a harp. Next instrument. Any ideas? This beautiful thing is called kabasa. Next audio. Does it sound familiar? It's a clarinet. You're doing great. We're almost at the finish line, so stay focused and let's listen to the next one. It's a bass guitar. Next audio. Does it sound familiar? Piano. What about this instrument? This sound is called throat singing, and it's made by a singer, not by a musical instrument. Next audio. Have you guessed? Castanets. Any idea what this might be? This is the sound of water glasses. And finally, can you spot this instrument? Does it seem familiar? It's an accordion. And now, let's calculate your score. If you've answered all 25 questions correctly, congratulations, you're a genius. If your score is between 17 and 24, well done. Your ears and knowledge are brilliant. You're either involved in the music industry, or you should think about doing so. If you gave from 9 to 16 correct answers, you're doing well. While listening to music, you're probably good at distinguishing the sounds of different instruments. And if you gave less than 9 answers, perhaps it's time to expand your knowledge in this field. You'll be surprised by the variety of musical instruments. In fact, nobody knows for sure the exact number of musical instrument types all over the planet. You can find more than 500 titles in various encyclopedias, but it's far from the actual number. After all, any musical instrument has dozens of different modifications and hundreds of manufacturing variations. To make the process easier, the instruments traditionally fall into one of 6 major categories, depending on the sound source: woodwind, bowed strings, brass, percussion, keyboard, and the guitar family. We're aware that musical instruments have been entertaining people for ages. But what is the oldest musical instrument in the world? So far, this honorary title belongs to the Neanderthal flute. It was made around 60,000 years ago. Contemporary musicians have reconstructed this instrument, and its sound reminds of the modern bamboo flute. But music is not only an entertaining tool, it's also very helpful when you want to relax or focus on your work or studies. The 432 Hz frequency is considered ideal because it resonates with the Schumann resonance of 8 Hz, and it's known for its deeply calming and comforting effects. One study from Italy showed that music tuned to 432 Hz slows down the heart rate when compared to 440 Hz. So be careful with what goes into your ears.
Jenny and Ben were about to get married. They wanted to book a hotel for their wedding ceremony in the party. So they went to a wedding planner to look at some options. She told them only 3 hotels were available for the day they wanted and showed them the pictures. Which one should they choose? Take a closer look at the 3rd floor windows of the first hotel. In the last window on the right, there's a creepy shadow of a monster that appears and disappears. 5 stars or not, no one would like to get married in a haunted place unless they're an Addams Family member. In the 3rd hotel, only has 2 stars. It probably doesn't have the facilities to host a wedding, so the best choice is the 2nd hotel. Great choice, the wedding planner said, and you're in luck because they actually have a great discount offer. If you can answer this riddle correctly, you won't have to pay for the ballroom rental. Here it is. Those who have it, do not say it. Those who take it, do not know it. Those who know it, do not want it. What is it? Do you know the answer? It's fake money. The next day, Ben and Jenny went to the hotel to pick the best ballroom for their party. The hotel manager took them to 3 different rooms where they could host everything, from the ceremony itself to the dinner and after party. Which one should they pick? Do you see a little mouse hole in the corner of the first ballroom? The couple wouldn't want such uninvited guests at their party. As for the 2nd ballroom, the chandelier looks like it might fall down any minute. Not the safest option, so they should pick the 3rd ballroom. It was time for Ben and Jenny to pick the wedding menu. Since they were not paying for the venue, they wanted to spare no expense in serving food that the guests would never forget. That's why they called 3 different Michelin star chefs. Each of them prepared a different dish and presented them for a tasting. Which chef, and therefore which dish, should they go for? Even though the dish the 2nd chef made looks perfectly fine, do you see a rat's tail hanging from his chef's hat? There must be some ratatouille situation going on there. So that's a pass. The 3rd dish looks like spaghetti, right? Well, look again. Those are actually very thin snakes. Exotic flavors might not be the best option, so they better go with the classical burger that the first chef made. Before they made their wedding vows, Jenny had to say yes to a dress. So, she went to a couture store to check their wedding gown collection. She explained to the designer the style of the dress she wanted for her ceremony. The designer said he had just the perfect gown for her and would bring it to her if she answered his riddle correctly. He asked, if a gown takes an hour to dry, how many hours will it take 6 dresses to dry? It'll still take 1 hour because they'll all dry at the same time. Ben had one last item to buy on his wedding shopping list, and it was what fastens 2 people yet touches only one. Can you figure out what it is? It's a wedding ring, of course. Ben headed to a jewelry store to get something blue for his bride. The store owner showed him 3 different wedding rings with blue gemstones. Which one should he buy? The second ring has an engraving inside, so it must have belonged to someone else before. The gemstone on the third ring has a tiny crack in it. That can only mean it's made of glass or even plastic. So, Ben should buy the first ring with a sapphire. Next, Ben and Jenny were going to send out invitations. One print shop offered them 3 different versions of invitations. Which one should they choose? Do you remember the name of the hotel they booked? It was Sunrise Lodge, but the first invitation says Sunset Lodge. So this one won't do. And on the third invitation, their names are printed as Benny and Jen. That's not our couple, so they should choose the second invitation. Before the wedding, 3 of their friends paid them a visit. One of them brought a painting as a wedding gift, but all 3 claimed that they were the artist who had created it. 2 of them must be lying. Can you figure out who the actual artist is? Take a look at the signature on the painting. It says Denise. Now look at the third friend's necklace. It has the letter D, so she must be Denise, the artist who painted the painting. It was finally the day of the wedding, and Ben and Jenny's guests started to arrive. However, the hotel security spotted 3 suspicious-looking people who could be uninvited. Take a look at these 3 guys. Can you tell which one is not supposed to be at the wedding? Do you see the hotel wristbands that say Ben and Jenny, that the second and the third guys are wearing? That can only mean they are actually invited. So it's the first guy who's crushing the wedding. Sorry, dude, no free drinks for you. After the vows were exchanged, it was time to party. As Ben and Jenny were dancing, someone spilled their drink on Jenny's dress, but no one saw who it was. Jenny spotted 3 people who could have done it. Take a look at them. Can you tell who ruined her dress? The first guy has spots on his shirt that resemble stains from the spilled drink, but they are actually part of the pattern, so it can't be him. The third lady looks clean, but the hem of the second lady's skirt looks dirty, so it must be her who did it. After the ceremony ended, Ben and Jenny wanted to take a photo to capture the moment forever. But take a look at it. There's something strange about it. Can you spot what it is? Can you see a woman hiding behind the trees watching them? She is wearing a witch hat, but it's a wedding ceremony and not a costume party. Creepy. Right before leaving, Jenny suddenly vanished. Then the witch suddenly appeared in front of Ben and said, "You may only kiss the bride if you figure out with whom you really tied the knot. Ha ha!" Then 2 Jennys appeared in front of Ben. Can you tell which one is his real wife? Remember the wedding photo? The Jenny on the left is the real one because her tattoo is on the same side as in the photo. Now that Ben and Jenny's wedding was over, phew, it was time for them to pick a honeymoon destination. They went to a travel agency to book a tour. The travel agent offered them 3 different holiday destinations: Ibiza, Cannes, in the Caribbeans. Which one should they go to? Have you noticed the weather forecast on TV in the office? It states that the weather in Ibiza is going to be windy in the upcoming days, and in Cannes, it's going to be rainy. So they should pick the Caribbeans and enjoy the sun. The travel agent said she could upgrade their plane tickets to business class for free. It would be her wedding gift to them. But they had to crack this riddle. What can travel around the world while staying in a corner? It's a stamp.